Okay, so I thank you guys for watching part 2 of my vlog because YouTube only gives me 8 minutes to ramble on about my exciting life, and you know that's not enough for me. So, um, what was I talking about? I myself should have watched part 1 to remember what I was talking about for me to finish this off. Um, yes, my appointment next week with my OBGYN. So, um, yeah, my fingers is crossed that everything comes back okay because cervical cancer does run in my family, and my mom's sisters died from cervical cancer. Her grandmother's sister died from cervical cancer. A few of my aunts died from cervical cancer. So it's pretty rapid in my maternal side of the family. Um, and also, those of you who know, like, my mom was very concerned. Well, actually, not my mom, my whole family was concerned about when I told them that the doctor called me in and told me I had to come back because of it. Because those of you who talk to me and, knows me pretty well knows the condition that my son has, which is septo-optic nerve dysplasia, where he is completely blind in his right eye. He's missing the midline part of his brain, and he also has fluid. Now, this condition often leads to mental retardation, dwarfism, and I mean a few minor stuff. But so far, developmentally wise, he's on point. He is going to be 4 this year in June. He does everything that a normal 3-year-old does, and even more. He's a very smart kid. He's amazing. And the only thing is that his eyes. I mean, if I can give him my eyes, I would. But I technology hasn't gone that far yet, I guess. But he's completely blind in his right eye. He can't see. When I cover it up, he sees through his left eye. When I cover this eye up, he can't see. To the point where if you try to poke your finger in it while you cover the side to see if he can have a sense of what's in front of him, he can't. And now that he talks properly, I ask him, I say, can you, when mommy covers it up, do you see? And he says, no, I can't see out of this one. It looks dark. It looks, sad. With him, he associates colors with like moods, like, dark colors is sad and bright colors is happy. So he tells me that, it looks blacked out to him. So, and of course, the cause for this condition is basically unknown, but there's a vaccine out to prevent cervical cancer that they have been giving young girls as young as 8 years old. It's called Gardasil. When I was pregnant with him, I didn't know I was pregnant until I was 6 months. Reason being is that I was 17 when I was pregnant with him. I'm sorry. He was 16 when I was 16 when he was conceived, but I was 17 when I had him. And I had, in February of 2008, I had a really bad case of bronchitis where I hate going to the doctors, even though I'm in the medical field. I hate doctors. I hate being a patient, So I had a really bad cold, and it just escalated into bronchitis. And I went to the doctor, and she was my pediatrician for years. She was even my brother's pediatrician. And she tells me, hey Jill, I know from talking with your mom, you guys have a history of cervical cancer in the family. There's a new vaccine out called Gardasil, and you should take it. But the only thing is that I have to give you a pregnancy test because we can't give it to people that's pregnant. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Just give me the shot, give me the vaccine, give me the cup, let me pee in the cup, and give me my albuterol treatment, which is my breathing treatment for my bronchitis. So I go in the bathroom, I pee in the cup, bring the cup back to the nurse, and then the nurse comes in and gives me the vaccine. So I automatically assume that I'm not pregnant, right? If you give me the vaccine, then obviously the test came back negative. Wrong. That was February, March, and April. 2 months later, I'm at my better half's house, and I have really bad stomach pains. He takes me to the hospital. Congratulations! Yay! You're 5.5 months pregnant. And I'm like, really? I was just at the doctor 2 months ago, and I wasn't showing. I lost a lot of weight. I was a size 3, no stomach, nothing. So I'm like, I'm probably a couple of weeks because I can't be no more than 2 months. Because 2 months ago, I was in the doctor, and I took a pregnancy. I gave them urine to take a pregnancy test, and they came back to give me the vaccine. So I'm not. And I literally I went to 2 different hospitals and 4 different doctors. And they all told me, yes, you are 5.5 months pregnant. You're due at this certain time. Now, I was concerned now because, I'm supposed to be 5.5 months pregnant. And just 2 months ago, I had this vaccine that's not supposed to be given to people that's pregnant. Now, I saw a specialist up in Gainesville. She told me that everything looked normal. My pregnancy is normal. The baby looks normal. Everything is normal. I said, all right. Now, after he was born, I noticed that his eyes couldn't move. He couldn't move his eyes left and right. Or he couldn't roll it or nothing like that. How he would look at you is that he would look straight and he would turn his head. That's it. That's all he would do is just turn his head. And I take him back to the pediatrician and she goes, oh, no, his eyes need developing. It's okay. Now, 6 months, I take him back. And I'm like, listen, lady, something is wrong with my son. And she refers him to an ophthalmologist. And then we find out what's wrong with him. Septic nerve dysplasia. I then pull all the medical records from her office and the hospitals. Now, when I pulled my record from the day that I was there at the doctor, those of you in the medical field would know that as a nurse, we can't go and give a patient a test. Or we can't do anything on a patient unless the doctor writes it down on the patient's chart. Each time you go to the doctor, you get a piece of paper in your chart, a brand new paper with your name, your medical record number, and your date of birth, and the date of that day. And everything that the doctor tells you or the treatment that you receive that day is written down on that paper. Now, as a nurse, I can't go and give Sue a pregnancy test just because I think she's pregnant. Or I can't go and give Marcy a flu shot because I think she's getting sick. I can't do that unless I go in the patient's chart and I see the doctor has specified, okay, pregnancy test, flu shot, vaccine. Now, what happened was that the doctor at the time forgot to write pregnancy test on my chart. She just wrote Gardasil vaccine. So the nurse comes, throws away my P, and just gives me the Gardasil vaccine. So, of course, it's medical malpractice, right? Yeah. Well, to make a long story short, she was in a community health center. And in my little town, that's really all we have, community health centers. And being that it's governmentally funded, all governmentally funded programs have a new legislator out that protects any governmentally funded programs from getting sued, medical malpractice. So that's the story of my life with that. So all in all, I hope everything goes well on Thursday. Thank you guys for watching me and listening to me ramble. Love you.